There we go. Hey, anglers and anglerettes, if you're with us, that means we've all survived Christmas. How about that? We've already got started and into this new season of shooting episodes. This one is no different than any other show that we do. We have mishaps and problems that arise. Here's the setup. We're going to go over to Stockton Lake. It's a little lake just north of Springfield, Missouri. It's full of largemouth, smallmouth, white bass, walleye, crappie. It's a good little old lake. Got Wes. He's my bass guy, and he's thinking that the Bama rig bite is on. That's the plan. If anything can happen and go wrong, that's what it is. The reason why my face is a little dark is because this thing went out. So this little cute little light here. But anyway, hey, this little open right here doesn't need to last any longer either. So let's head out, let's see what goes on, and let's just see how the first episode of the year turns out. What do you say?
We had a little bit of confusion this morning. I thought I was gonna be filming Scott, but Scott thought I was gonna be bass fishing. So Scott brought just a few rods because he thought after I caught some fish, he would take just these 2 rods and have a little fun. So this is what we got to work with today. And hey, it could be worse. We've got a ducket rod, medium heavy.
You didn't bring any.
I didn't bring any rods. I was keeping the boat clean like I normally try to do for the videos. So we get 2 rods. We got a 6'6" ACC spinning rod, and we've got a 7'6" heavy power ducket rod. Nice couple rods. So it could be a lot worse, but that means we're gonna be jerk baiting, A-rigging, maybe crankbait. We'll see, but we've got 2 rods to work with. A couple nice fish there marked about 10 feet down on the bottom. We're gonna make a cast. And you're gonna watch this A-rig drop right on them, if I can make the right cast. Okay, there's my A-rig coming in. See it? Oh. So those might be crappie because you can see the size of the marks. We got one following. Maybe a little white bass. Oh, one bit it. Dropping it to the bottom. Now they're spooked off. So those may be little white bass because the A-rig looked twice the size of them.
Well, right off the bat, we're having mic issues, audio issues, which is no different than any other day. There's always some sort of issue. Issue just follows you anywhere you go when you're shooting these things. Well, anyway, Wes is working on the camera, and I thought, well, I'm not going to sit here and just watch him. So I grabbed my ACC with a Mega Bass jerkbait. I chunked that dude out there. Bang! I catch a nice white bass.
All right, per our normal flow, we came out here, put in. I'm wanting to go black bass fishing, and we got some mic problems. So the cameraman, me, I step in, I start messing with the mic. Well, Scott makes 2 casts and catches a really nice white bass. So it looks like I'm gonna go white bass fishing. You know, we haven't done a live sonar white bass, and look, you see these? I'm gonna guess those are probably whites out 50 feet. And we're gonna see if we can't do a live sonar white bass show. That's the goal now, but it could change. And well, you know, when you get used to looking at that live sonar, it's a lot of fun watching them shoot up and eat it. Really nice white bass. Oh yeah, look at these. Just 2 3-pounders. Finesse 6'6" ACC. That's about as fun as it gets right there. And I'm gonna be careful. I'm gonna get my pliers here, so bear with me, because these guys will put a hook in you. And the nice thing about these gloves, you lay those fins down. Look at that. How fun is that? Watch them eat it on active sonar. Haven't done live sonar whites yet, so maybe we're onto something. Would you hand me those pliers when you get a sec, or I'll get them. Double duty. You got the front hook on that one. This is a 110 Junior Mega Bass jerkbait. White bass. Stockton Lake is a great place to come and do this, guys. when Table Rock gets busy, or when people go in the deer woods, I mean, it's late December, so I mean, there's not a lot else that you can do that's as fun as this, and they fight hard, and they eat good. So we're gonna turn this one back, we're gonna get back to it, and see if we can't get on a pattern. Now that the sun's out, I may need to go to that jerkbait, because they are all over it. See it? I'm gonna drop it down. We've got a load of whites in here. This fish, I'm gonna try to show you with my hand here. If you look at the live sonar, came off that tree right there. Hold on. Look at all the whites on the bottom. And right there's all those whites I just caught. So we had them coming up and hitting it, missing it, hitting it, missing it, and we watch them eat it. It's about as much fun as you can have catching fish, especially when there's this many fish in the water. But guys, I haven't done a white bass show for Scott. He was nice enough to let me come out here and do this, knowing they were biting. If you live near Stockton, you really ought to be out here catching these fish. They're fun, they're good eating if you clean them right, and boy, you can catch a bunch of them. So if you got kids or you got somebody that doesn't do a lot of fishing, you want to get them hooked, now's a great time to get out here if you can bear the cold. But we're gonna keep coming after them with the jerkbait when they're shallow enough. And then we're going to deploy this A-rig when they're deeper. Like that bite wouldn't happen unless we got it deep. So I'm going to rig this up. It doesn't even matter if it's hanging out a little bit. Usually with these whites, they'll still hit it. 60 feet out. A-rig's dropping in right there. They're all over it. There they are. You can see me. Look at them. See them coming after it? Oh, that's fun right there. Video game fishing. You know, with the whites, you probably don't have to do that, especially, look at, there's two of them on. But it just helps you target, you know, each cast, you're that much more efficient. And you drop it right in the school of them. Can't beat that, look at that. Caught two fish in one cast. Get these guys unhooked. Guys, this whole creek is full of these white bass, and I'm sure there's some other stuff mixed in. But I mean, there's hundreds of these little white bass in there. And on this cast, we got two in one cast. I mean, there was some big, these are little ones. So what we might do, if we catch a bunch of these, maybe we can kind of make an adjustment and say, all right, let's go target some of the bigger marks, which is pretty tough to do, but maybe we can try to show you guys how to do that and how to differentiate between a small fish and a big fish on this live sonar. We're gonna do our best. Filming this live sonar is tough. It's a minute flick of the toe to get it out of sight. So we're going to try to film some of this stuff on this live sonar for you, but just bear with us. This is a cast I wouldn't normally make out to the right of the boat. I'd probably start looking back towards the bank, but I notice these fish and they're all over it right now. Well, not quite. These ones turned away. And that's the other thing. You can kind of see what fish are interested in it. If they don't want the color, you know, if they're all over that A-rig or not. It looks like there's some bigger fish right here. So right here, let's see if we can't catch a bigger white bass. Let's see. There he is. There he is. You can almost call your shots. These look like bigger, nicer fish out here, a little deeper, which that live sonar is helping us see. Oh yeah. So like I said, you're getting into those, you know, smaller whites. He's just kind of foul hooked. He's still a little better. But we're going to start trying to target some of these bigger whites with this live sonar. A little better. Still not, you know, down there Arkansas size like Scott catches on the river down there, the White River. But nice nonetheless. They're tight-jawed today. We're going to go look for a little bigger than that. But man, fun. I could do this all day long. And we're basically calling our shots. When you see them grouped up like that and I got it right on their head, here's a pot of them down on the bottom. You can see, guys, there's some smaller ones there, you can tell. And then the bigger ones are kind of out here on their own.
These little POV cameras right here are just almost a must anymore. And a lot of people, that's all they use. Anytime you get a new micro card, these little cards here that go in there, you better make sure that these things are formatted to your camera. I had left a micro card out of this particular GoPro, and so I bummed a card off of Wes that was in his little card catalog, and I don't know what it was formatted to, but I just put it in there. I learned a lesson here. Well, anyway, I get home, I'm dumping footage, and this footage is corrupt. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, this ain't some of my best work, but we'll make it. I think this is turning out to be a pretty decent episode, so I think you get the gist of it, and so now you know why it's kind of broke up, because I used the wrong card in my GoPro.
So guys, the reason we got an A-rig on the deck is because we were gonna go bass fishing, black bass fishing today. Caught them really good last year, and they were biting the heck out of it last year right here. But I'm glad we have it because it's given us some versatility for some of these fish that are a little deeper than what the jerkbait could get. See, they're moving too, so you're fighting against a lot of things. You're fighting against wind. A-rig's coming through them right now. And it disappeared. Oh, right there. Some of these bigger ones out here, a little deeper. We got lucky on that one. He bit it right at the boat. And we kind of lost it, guys. Scott was doing a good job and then kind of panned off of it. But we knew that A-rig was tracking about 10 feet, and we knew that pot of fish was about 10 feet. So if you're really wanting to dial it in, you find those big pods of fish, you watch your A-rig drop in it, and then just go fishing. You don't have to always watch them eat it. We knew we were in them right there. The problem with these bigger ones out here is they'll follow, but they won't eat unless you get around another one that starts acting like he wants it, and that causes them to commit. That mark on it's about as big as the A-rig, so that gives you an idea. Here comes some fish. Spook those. Oh yeah. That was a pot of 4. But look here, when you get around a pot of a couple, you know how it is. You want what the other one wants. So what I'm learning is if you can get around a couple fish, usually you can get them to go because they're not going to let the other one get it. Pretty apparent right here, right? Good example. Nicer fish right here. Nicer white bass, Stockton white bass. The guys, they say when they fillet them, you just leave a little skin on and you just cut that red cavity out of them, that bloodline. They eat really good. I know Scott and a lot of people are spoiled on crappie, but there's a lot of people that argue these are really good eating. And I'm one of them. All right, we're putting together a little bit of an episode. You know, I'm sitting here cranking right-handed because these aren't even my rods. You know, as we told you earlier, we came out here with a whole different plan. And Scott got to messing around when I was trying to fix the mics and caught a really nice white bass, which now, look what we're doing. White bass seem to always crash the party. What's up with that? They're party crashers. All right, where's the A-rig? Here's the A-rig coming down. Far right of the screen. Dropping into some fish. Come on, eat. Yep, there he is. That's such a fun way to catch them. You just target those big marks and drop it right on their head. And boom. So much fun. He bit the middle one too. See, that's a better mark and a better fish. We're slowing down our catch rate quite a bit, but we're targeting bigger marks. And he bit that middle bait with a little chartreuse. I added a little chartreuse with a pin. Keep a little chartreuse bait pin on you when you're out here, some dip and glow. And when the sun comes out, sometimes a little change like that may help. So he was with 2 other fish, and that was one of those casts that you saw the A-rig dropping right down on their head, and about the time it got on them, bam. See if we can catch his buddies. Following it. See, that's a solo fish. A lot of times it's hard to get those individual fish to bite. See, he's following it. He's on it, now I'll drop. on him. Oh, there he is. Didn't want to knock the camera out of Scott's hands. Dropped right on that fish's head. It literally cast right on him. Another good one. See, guys, look here. Instead of catching these little 10 inchers, you start going around looking for those individual better marks. Start getting some better fish. You know, I mean, it almost gets redundant, which I don't even think is a word you can use when you're fishing, because it's never redundant. It's always fun, no matter how many you catch. But yeah, they keep eating the one with chartreuse too. So whether that's because it's in the middle or because it's chartreuse, we can only find out by swapping it. Guys, Stockton Lake, it's from the Springfield, Missouri, the city of Springfield. It's about an hour. I always joke and say it's 2 hours from anywhere because it seems like it takes forever to get up here. But it's a very natural lake. You can't have docks on this lake. It is beautiful. Lots of different structure to fish, whether it's rock, wood, not a lot of grass really in any of these lakes. It can be a clear water lake, and it can be a little more dingy than a lake like Table Rock. So it's between, really, you've got choices to fish Table Rock, Stockton, Truman Lake. So you can kind of pick your poison, spin a bottle, and land on the lake anywhere around the Springfield area. It's a really neat place to live. All right, guys, so we're gonna wrap it up here, and maybe just kind of catch a few more fish just to have a little bit more fun, because when they're biting, it's hard to leave them. But thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, check out g3boats.com. We've got new color schemes coming out that I think you guys are gonna really like. But again, thanks for watching. Come back next time, somewhere, another place, another species, maybe me, maybe Scott. Have a nice evening.